Thank you very much for the powerful performance, which was beautiful, harmonious, and shows the exact spirit of coalition and collaboration among the communities. How about another big round of applause for this wonderful performance? Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Look at this beautiful day and beautiful crowd. Welcome. Welcome to the first anniversary of Comfort Woman Column of Strength. This incredible statue to the memory and resilience of the Comfort Women. We're overwhelmed by how many of you are here. Please give yourselves a round of applause. My name is Judith Murkinson. I'm the president of the Comfort Women Justice Coalition.
And my name is Phyllis Kim. I am the executive member and secretary of Comfort Women Justice Coalition, as well as the executive director at Korean American Forum of California. Welcome, everybody. 정말 환영합니다, 여러분. 반갑습니다.
We're here not just to remember the statue. We're here to remember what we now think of as perhaps 500,000 to 1 million young women and girls who were sexually enslaved by the Japanese Imperial Army in World War II. We're here to say never again. We're here to say no to sexual violence to women during war and no to sexual violence to women in general. We're here to remember the 3 women who represent the 3 countries that had the most women sexually enslaved. Korea, which is estimated 200,000, China, which is estimated at least 500,000, and the Philippines, which is over 10,000. But they weren't the only ones. The Japanese Imperial Army enslaved women from over 13 countries in every single part of the 1 million acres that they inhabited and that they colonized during World War II. So while we're here, let's think of these women, and let's think of all the women today and girls and boys who are sexually trafficked, and let's build a world where that isn't going to happen again.
And let me give you a little bit of the background information as to what is going on right now around the globe, around the issue of the Comfort Women issue. At the UNESCO is the organization, international organization for education and remembrance of the world heritages and the things that are so important that we need to remember. In 2016, in protest about the UNESCO's inclusion of the Nanjing Massacre dossier in its memory of register, Japanese government decided not to pay its due for 2016 and delayed its payment as a threat to UNESCO to influence the UNESCO so that UNESCO does not approve the application by more than a dozen organizations from 11 different countries to remember Comfort Women issue in its register. So UNESCO received the application last year. It decided, you know what? It decided to postpone the decision indefinitely because there was so much pressure from the Japanese government. So now it is still pending. And Japanese government successfully pressured the executive committee of UNESCO to change its rules of review so that the victim countries or the countries involved need to have a discussion before the application can be considered. Do you believe that is justice? Do you believe that is how we need to remember these atrocities against women? No. So we need to raise our voice, and that is something we need to remember this beautiful day because our fight is not over. the women's fight is not over. The fight about the human rights is not over. It's still going on. And at this time, I'd like to introduce our fierce leaders of San Francisco Comfort Women Justice Coalition, Judge Lillian Singh and Julie Tang, as well as our fierce leader from the Korean community, Dr. Jonathan Kim. Please give a big round of applause.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jonathan Kim. On behalf of the Korean community, I welcome you all to the first anniversary of San Francisco's Comfort Women Memorial. Thank you so much for being here today. Excuse me. Special recognition is owed to Judge Lillian Singh and Judge Julie Tang for their dedication and for their hardship. And special thanks to Congressman Mike Honda and Senator Mark Leno, Jane Kim, Supervisor Jane Kim, and my friends and colleagues of San Francisco Comfort Women Memorial, Senator Phil. Last year, September 22nd, 2017, we installed this memorial with your support, with your love, with your leadership. And this statue stands for women's rights, human rights, and the end of sex trafficking. This statue, the San Francisco statue, marks the 8th Comfort Women Memorial built in the United States. And this is the first time in history. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time in history that the Korean, Chinese, and Filipino communities, along with victims of all 13 communities, have joined hands to create such a monument. Our intercultural alliance is very special. We hope that one day all 13 nations whose women, little girls, and boys were enslaved as comfort women and comfort boys may stand together as a symbol of justice for our future. The bonds between our communities are strong enough to help to prevent further abuse of human rights. We are breaking the silence about the Japanese state-sponsored sex trafficking that happened 90 years ago. Unfortunately, systematic, large-scale sex trafficking is still happening today. I want the generations of today to know the pain of what happened. Knowledge is power. Only by bringing our communities together can we combat this ongoing violence. Together, let us stand as beacons of hope for all the victims of sex trafficking who are still in this world. May they know they are not alone, that justice and freedom are coming. But our work is only beginning. As stewards of this monument, we want to honor the sacrifice of the comfort women in ever-growing circles. We hope that in so doing, we can be a voice of hope for all the victims of sex trafficking. The more successful we are sharing the tragic history of the comfort woman, the more chance we have to help the victims of sex trafficking who are still among us. It is the wish of all comfort women and their families and the communities and the sponsor of the memorial that the comfort women find peace and their hardship be a cautionary tale for generations to come. It is my honor to be standing here today with all of you, and thank you so much for your attention and support. May we all continue this good work. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Kim. I also wanted to take this opportunity to personally thank Dr. Kim and his sister Sue Ron Kim for the unswerving support for the Comfort Women Justice Movement. They are true partners to the CWJC, and they're extremely inspiring. Thank you so much. I also want to recognize the person who inspired Lillian and me to build a memorial. Peter Chi, stand up and take a bow. Peter. Also, want to acknowledge the person of the Justice Company, Henry Hui, who is present also. You know, when we built a memorial, we wanted to send a very strong message. And the message is that Japan committed serious atrocities against women and girls during Second World War by using them in this institution of comfort women, which is legitimizing military gang rape as a war strategy to demoralize the victim countries and to enhance the power and strength of the soldiers who raped these women. We don't want the world to forget that. We also want to celebrate the courage and the strength of the comfort women victims who survived to tell the story to the world. Can you imagine a 60-year-old grandma telling the world on United Nations platform, in the congressional platform in the United States and the whole world, how they were raped? Can you imagine how awful it is? They have to relive that memory. You know what? They told us, don't let the world forget us, so we won't forget them. We built a memorial, the only memorial in the United States that celebrate rape victims who had the courage to speak up. This is our message, and that it would never be repeated. Now, you would think that Japan, after all these years, would own up to what they've done and say that I am truly sorry, kneel down on the ground and beg for forgiveness. No, they are mitigating, denying the truth of history. And for our memorial, what they have done is they have objected to every single level of governmental intervention. And we are so distressed, and we work so hard to overcome that, but we won. I also want to tell you that Osaka mayor threatened that by the end of this month, if our mayor does not remove that memorial from the public arts collection, he will terminate the sister city relationship with Osaka, the 60-year-old sister city relationship. I think with that one act, he is taking Japan on a historical low. Don't you think so? And just yesterday, the Japanese Council had been lobbying the Board of Supervisors, some of the members, to not engage the Osaka delegation who are here today. Osaka delegation came here to support us. They are wonderful people. Wave your hands, Osaka. Thank you. We're going to give them an award. Have you stand up, Osaka delegation. Thank you for bringing a peace message to San Francisco. Let your voice soar, let your voice be loud, and let Japan hear it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eric.
Well, we stand in solidarity with them and let the history never be repeated. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear sister Julie Tang. And I would like to also thank all of you here. We have so many young people here. Well, the children, school children, please wave your hands. We have people from Monterey. We have people from San Francisco schools. Young children are here. It is so important for the next generation to carry the torch. A lot of the comfort women have died. Judge Tang and I and Dr. Kim are working hard, but the torch needs to be passed to you, because you are the next generation, and you must carry out our mission. Japan wants to silence us. Japan wants to wait out, so all the comfort women are gone and dead. We will never allow that to happen. I want you all to look at this beautiful comfort women memorial. Please take a look. Turn to your right. You know, we spend so much time to do our Comfort Women Memorial. It means so much to the world. Our Osaka delegation told us when we install that memorial, all of Japan's citizens, learn about the Kung Fu women for the first time because there have been amnesia. Japan has changed history and would not allow its citizens to learn about history. Guess what happened? Less than a month ago, before our first anniversary, someone defaced it, vandalized our memorial, put paint on the skirt of Hak Soon Kim, and poured paint on her skirt and put white paint in her eyes. Such hatred. And the same right-wing people went to New Haven, Brookhaven, Georgia, and put cash on the hands of the Kung Fu Woman Memorial there. So dirty. They say that it represents that they are prostitutes. How ugly, how mean-spirited. Why is Japan doing this? And recently in Glendale, our Kung Fu Women Memorial there, whom they want to take down, took us to the U.S. Supreme Court to remove it and failed, put a brown bag over its head. How mean. Why are they so afraid of the truth? Memorials represent history, and they want it down. We will not allow that to happen, and we will forever build more memorials. I also want to quote you something that Mio Shigita wrote. She's a parliamentary member in Japan. She said, once people realize that Kung Fu Women memorials will be bombed, no matter how many they build, they will not think building another one. We should bomb every single memorial as it built. We will never allow that to happen. Is that right? These are hate crimes. We are peaceful people. We want to preserve history. We do not want to preserve any hate. This is why when the Osaka delegation came, it is so meaningful. I want to share with you a moment that moved me to tears yesterday. The Osaka delegation met with our Chinese delegation. Would our Chinese delegation people please stand? 3 of them came all the way from China yesterday. He is a teacher that spent 30 years of his life looking for Kung Fu women. He is the one that produced the Dahan. They met just by accident at City Hall, and the leader of the delegation shook hands with the teacher, Mr. Zhang Chuanbing, and it's a country, victim country, shaking hands with the invader country, the country that invaded and did all the terrible things. They shook hands and they cried. Let's give them a round of applause. Will the delegation leader please stand again? This is what we want. We want peace. We want the victim community to shake hands with the invader country, and together we will work for peace and preserve history. Thank you all very much for coming. I also want to recognize the senior citizens from all over the place. We have delegation not only from Japan, from China. We also have somebody from Hong Kong. Thank you for coming, Hong Kong. Oh, we also have someone from Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia, please wave. Thank you, Atlanta, Georgia. This is an international global event. We stand in solidarity to continue our mission to preserve peace and to preserve history of World War II in Asia. Thank you. I'm going to now do GA. At this time, I'm going to bring up old soldiers who have worked long before we started our Kung Fu Women Justice Coalition. They are the global alliances for preserving the history of World War II. The Global Alliance, GA, was founded in 1994. At that time, over 40 grassroots organizations formed this wonderful organization. And the old soldiers continue to be here to fight for justice. Will Mr. Gilbert Chan and Charles Shaw please stand up? They are the original founding members of GA. At this time, Mr. Stone Ling, who is the current Secretary General, please come up to make a little remark on behalf of the Global Alliance for Preserving World War II History. Mr. Stone Ling.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Stone Lin. I'm Chief General Secretary of GA and spokesman for APT-SJW. It's a good weather, so I will keep my speech short. I learned about the comfort woman in middle school. I still remember the feeling when I heard about their story. And after that, I never want to, dig into the detail, learn about the detail about the comfort woman, because every time I read their story, it makes me so sad, make me so infuriated and just depressed. So I never want to learn about the detail after that. But no matter, it doesn't matter I want to learn or not, their story is still there. And after when I grew up, I find more and more Japanese later want to, deny the insufferable history and deny the comfort woman, deny the Nanjing massacre. They even want to deny the whole intruding history. I asked my Japanese friends, what's wrong with your government? Why they want to deny the truth of its history? They said, when Asian people forget about all the war history, maybe we will in the real peace. Is that true? No, I don't think it's true. The statue is the answer. Asian people will never forget about the war history, no matter where we are. Forgetting about history actually is a betrayal. Betraying the dead, betraying the humanity. The Asian community has finally begun to speak up. We are letting comfort woman's story to be known, and we are passing down the history to our next generation. We built this statue not to ask the Japanese government to cheaply apologize for what they did. We just want justice. I really hope someday there is a comfort woman memorial statue built by Japanese government, and that day we will have real peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The mayor of Osaka, Mr. Yoshimura, sent 5 public letters to our beloved late Mayor Ed Lee, urging him to not allow us to build a memorial on public grounds. You know what Mayor Ed Lee did? No. He helped us build our memorial. And you know what? His lovely wife, our beloved First Lady, Anita Lee, in fact, served as our first honorary co-chair. Today, she brought her whole family with her to show that she stands with us, that she stands with Comfort Women Memorial. She stands with the community. She stands with the grassroots to support what we're doing, and that is to fight against sex slavery and sex trafficking. I'm going to invite her up here to receive an award from Comfort Women Justice Coalition. Anita, please come up on stage, and please bring your family. They are Tanya, Brianna, and Brianna's husband, Mark Chan, with the whole family for our late Ed Lee. Come up here on stage. And I'm going to invite Ms. Soon Ran Kim, who is the president of the Jin Duck and Chua Kwan, I cannot pronounce the name, Kong Sik Kim Foundation, to present a bouquet of flowers to Anita. Anita, the Korean community really loves you, and they want to show their respect to you by presenting you a beautiful bouquet of flowers. Lovely. Gorgeous. Say something. Sue?
Thank you, Anita. We appreciate you and your late husband, Mayor Lee, for helping to build this beautiful memorial. And we thank you again. Thank you.
Would one of your family say something?
Thank you so much for being here today and supporting this memorial. I remember when I was a sophomore in college and I was learning about Comfort Women, I was reading a book by an author named Iris Chang. You may have heard of her. She wrote a book called The Rape of Nanjing. And
Iris's parents are here.
oh, well, hi, nice to meet you. Iris has shaped a lot of my feminism, so thank you so much for being here. And so I remember reading the book and having conversations with my father because he was also reading the book at the same time. And so we've been talking about this issue for a long time, and one of my last conversations with him before he passed was about his support of the memorial. So I know that he held it really dear in his heart. So thank you everyone for being here today, and thank you for supporting this incredible work by this community.
Thank you. Thank you, Anita. Why don't you escort Anita down?
Right now, we are truly delighted to have some government officials here as well. Not only from the United States, we have from the judiciary. Will the judges please stand? I see Justice Jenkins over there. Justice Jenkins of the Court of Appeals, please raise your right hand. We also have very important representatives from the People's Republic of China. They are Counsel Zhang Ling and Counsel Liang Zhihua. Please stand. And of course, we have Michael Honda and other officials, Mark Leno, who will be later individually introduced.
So we have our beloved former Congressman Mike Honda here. Could you please stand up and come up to the stage? We also have the champion of the San Francisco Memorial, who was in the City Hall at the time, former Supervisor Eric Mark. Please come up here.
I'd also like Sandra Fewer, who I have special affection for because she's my supervisor, to come up. And Mark Leno, Jane Kim, also incredible supervisor. And what we're going to ask them all to do is hold a picture of the many Comfort women, you know, there are hardly any left, who have passed away this year. And what we'd like everybody to do before we just ask each of them to say a few words is we'd like to have a moment of silence, that we just remember all the women who have struggled, all the women who have resisted. Let me get the press out of here for a minute. And yeah, we want to remember all of these women who have passed, and we demand, and we are thinking of them, and we are thinking of the fact that we demand Japan must apologize and must offer compensation, an official apology. So let's have a moment of silence. Thank you so much. Could the media please, we're live streaming, could you spread out? And also, I just want to tell people, please do not go on the grass. The Parks Department has spent a lot of money on this, and they have asked us specifically, do not go on this grass that's next to the building here.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you very much for the honor of being here and joining all of you. I just want to commemorate this moment to the three Weeaboo, the comfort women, who spoke up in the courts in Japan and declared themselves victims and demanding an apology and reparations to those three women who broke the silence, spoke up. So too must we speak up, not only as a community, but as a nation, to let Abe know that he needs to hear and apologize unequivocally. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Honda, for your strength and leadership. I'm Eric Marr, one of the former members of the Board of Supervisors. I'll just say San Francisco stood up for justice 27 years ago today. Halmini Kim Hak-soon, whose image is in our San Francisco Column of Strength Memorial. Halmini Lee came to our Board of Supervisors 3 years ago today, this time that we're commemorating, and they give us strength, but it's really this broad-based, women-led Pan-Asian coalition, the Comfort Women Justice Coalition, and many others of us that are here. I wanted to thank Phyllis Kim and the Korean American communities, but also Mi Hyang Yoon from the Korean Council from Seoul, who's also with us today. She's speaking at USF. But we are building a broader movement, not just for Comfort Women memorials and reparations and redress, but also to end rape culture and to end patriarchy in this country as we're fixated on the Supreme Court nominee. But we also know 27 years ago, Anita Hill stood up like Halmini Kim did as well. And I think a lot of us are linking the issues so that we build movements. And this is a key part of our movements, but hopefully the focus is on justice, reparations, and redress for the many people that suffered, women and girls, during World War II. Thank you.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Sandra Lee Fewer. I am the supervisor of District 1, where Eric Marr used to be the supervisor. I just want to thank everyone for all their efforts here and how timely that this memorial celebration is because of what is happening nationwide to women. I also want to thank the Comfort Women Justice Coalition for actually working together with me to make sure that generation after generation will be educated on this subject and also about the atrocities so we would never repeat it again in our history. So it is now actually part of the history curriculum for the California State curriculum and also the San Francisco Unified School District. Thank you so much, everyone.
I also just want to thank and take a moment to thank Judge Singh and Tang and Phyllis Kim and Jonathan Kim and the entire Comfort Women Justice Coalition for their incredible work over these many years to bring this memorial to fruition. When the judges came to me in 2013 and told me about their vision, I knew that it would be a struggle and a challenge. But they did it within 4 years, which I cannot tell you how extraordinary that is. It takes a tenacity and courage, but also anger about what has taken place in our history that has not been acknowledged for thousands and frankly millions of women in our history. We must learn from the atrocities from our past, and all of our governments, including the Japanese government, must apologize for the violence that they've inflicted on women. On my position on the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, and I won't do it right now, we do have commendations for the Osaka delegation and many of the committees that are part of this coalition, and we will present that, we'll give that to the judges and to Phyllis to bring directly.
I also want to thank my dear friends, Judge Lillian Singh and Julie Tang, and the Kims, Peter, and all those whose leadership brings us to this time and place. But as we demand that the leaders of Japan recognize and respect the voice and trauma of women who were raped, that we demand the same of the leaders of the U.S. Senate's Judiciary Committee to listen and respect to the voice and trauma of women.
Can Judge Lillian Singh come up to receive the commendation for our delegations? And sign it work? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
On behalf of everybody, I love it. Thank you very much. But in the interest of time, we'll receive it formally later. Is that okay with everybody? Thank you. It's so hot and under the sun. Thank you, Principal Supervisor Kim.
Okay, briefly, I'm Lori Smith. I'm the sheriff in Santa Clara County, and we stand with you in support of this memorial and against all types of sexual violence, human trafficking, labor trafficking, and thank you so much to everyone who's done this wonderful memorial. I'll ask the undersheriff to say a quick, brief word.
Wow, thank you. Since my boss spoke in English, can I just speak in Korean just a little bit? If that's okay. My name is Rick Sung, Undersheriff number 2 guy at the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office. 안녕하세요. 반갑습니다. 네, 일단은 저희 첫 돌을 너무 축하드리고요. 그리고 저희 산타클라라 카운티 셰리프부에서는 우리 한인 민족뿐만이 아닌 타 민족들과 같이 힘을 합쳐서 이런 일이 절대는 일어나지 않도록 열심히 노력하도록 저희 앞에서 약속드리겠습니다. 감사합니다.
My name is Jeff Brown. I used to be the public defender here in San Francisco, and I'm the first cousin of Jerry Brown, who, same hairline as I said a year ago. But I want to thank Julie and Lillian and all of the people that worked on this wonderful memorial. As a person whose in-laws experienced much of the atrocities of the Japanese government in Singapore in World War II, there is no reason why the Japanese government cannot make a redemption for what they have done. Human rights are violated by all societies, and the strength of a society is the ability to come up and do something about what transpired in the past. The past can be redeemed, and this is really a step. This could be a terrific step toward that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You can sit down. Thank you so much, everybody.
You know, if you look over there, you'll see a statue with 3 young women representing the Philippines, China, and Korea. And standing below them is Haksun Kim. In 1991, Haksun Kim broke a silence of almost 50 years and talked about what had happened to her in World War II. The irony of the situation in the world is that when women get raped, we get blamed and we get shamed. And so Haksun Kim incredibly stood up and spoke. And she stood up and spoke because there was a women's movement in Asia that was saying that we can stand up and speak. And this is very important because after she did so, the international community began to take notice of the issue. And today, it is under international law, it is a war crime. It is a crime against humanity to have rape as a strategy of war. This is rather incredible because if you think about it, rape as a strategy of war, as a subset of war, has been accepted for thousands of years. And it was the courage of Haksun Kim and so many others who made this happen, who changed history. And we can continue to change history today. And and we have the power to do so. And sometimes we don't realize we have that power. The other thing is that this memorial was built, and Hak Soon Kim and all the women who were able to come out, because they had community groups and community power to back them up. And we'd like to recognize some of our other partners here today. And for instance, we have Eclipse Rising, Zainichi Koreans, who were some of the first organizations to stand up and who are still being oppressed in Japan. And we support you. We have Gabriela and Gabriela Philippines in the house. You know, people don't realize, but Gabriela Philippines were the authors of the phrase, women's rights are human rights. And that very soon after Hak Soon Kim came out, women in the Philippines formed an organization, Lila Filipina. So we want to thank Gabriela and Gabriela Philippines. We have Code Pink, both from Osaka, from San Francisco, and from the East Bay. And we know Code Pink, they'll stand up for women everywhere that they go. And there they are, so let's give them a hand. We have the Rape of Nanjing Redress Coalition, who were one of the first organizations to stand up. RNRC. And we have so many others here. And we are so grateful to you, because without our community and grassroots support, without organizations also like Women for Genuine Security, without the National Lawyers Guild, which I'm a part of, without so many other organizations, we would not be able to build a movement. It's the grassroots. It's building power. It's people coming together that influence governments. And we're going to do that together.
Thank you, Mark, for acknowledging all the community members. There's an announcement. There is a car parked in the alley. It's an SUV. You need to move it, otherwise it'll be towed. So we are going to introduce another great performance by the choreographer is Kyung Il-ong, and the dancers are from Ong Dance Company and School. The musicians include the singer-songwriter Matt Langlois and the Haegu Chinese Percussion Ensemble and Kultura Kapwa.
Could people please clear this space? And if you need more room, there's more room over there on the left, my left.
one, after nearly 50 years, I became the first person to speak out about the sexual slavery of the Japanese Imperial Army. They took us by force, put us into a military compound, and made us comfort women. I was raped, sometimes 20, 30 times a day. I would no longer be ashamed. I could no longer be silent. It is their shame. Look at me over there. I am still waiting. Japan must apologize. We demand justice.
How about another round of big applause for the great performers? Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. So we would like to actually introduce you to introduce the Japan delegation who made a trip over thousands of miles to be here with us, and the Chinese delegation who came here to celebrate this very meaningful day with us. But before we do that, I would like to introduce the State Assembly Member David Chiu to the stage. very briefly, everybody spoke for 10 minutes, so you have 30 seconds.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being part of an incredible community that we'll never forget. Just yesterday, a state legislative colleague of mine who represents Los Angeles was here with hundreds of women of color who were talking about how to organize around power. And she called me because she was wandering around the square looking for this exhibit, because she wanted to be reminded and inspired of what we need to do. We all know, you've heard today, that there are still too many survivors of sexual assault who are not believed by everyday people and by the current president of the United States. We have so much more work to do, but it starts with communities coming together. And I want to thank our delegations from around the world who have said, this can never happen again. We need justice, and we need to remember. Thank you very much.
And State Assembly Member David Chu was the one who sponsored our exhibit in the state building that went on for a month, depicting all the grandma's pictures with the description. And now that exhibit has moved to the City College of San Francisco in Chinatown on Kearny Street. So please make sure to check it out. We would like to introduce a Kansai network to resolve the comfort woman issue in Osaka. It was founded in 2009. The network consists of 6 organizations and some individuals throughout the Kansai region of Japan that came together to co-lead the founding of National Network of Groups Working on Comfort Woman Justice. Chongja Bang is leading the delegation. She is the representative, and the delegation consists of Charlie, Kazuko Ogawa, Noriko Matsumura, Sang-hyun Lee, Yuki Nishikawa, Kyoko Ono. Also, we have the delegates from Forum for Improvement of Osaka. They are affiliated with various groups ranging from Code Pink, Veterans for Peace, among others. And on this trip, they together represent the Forum of Improvement of Osaka, formed by 19 organizations, unions, and parties that came together to unite and resist the ultra-right-wing local government. The representative is Hisae Ogawa, and the members are here, Akiko Oguchi, Kyoko Himeno, and Kazuko Yamahara. So Judith Murkinson, who is our president of the Comfort Woman Justice Coalition, will present the award to the representatives. Pangsan, come. For Kansai Network, Pangsan will receive the award.
For your leadership in leading the founding of the National Networks of Groups Demanding Comfort Women Justice. We honor you for resisting the Osaka and Japanese governments in their denial of the history of the comfort women. Thank you so much for your support of the San Francisco Comfort Women Memorial, September 22nd, 2018. And I know that...
And on behalf of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, we recognize your commitment to the effort in finding a resolve for the comfort women issue and to promote women's human rights by continuing to strengthen the solidarity with the people of San Francisco to fight against historic denialism. The San Francisco Board of Supervisors extends its highest commendation and welcomes your delegation to San Francisco.
Hisae Ogawa-san. Hisae Ogawa-san. This is the forum. For the forum for improvement of Osaka, Hisae Ogawa-san will receive the award.
This is for the Forum for Improvement of Osaka for your outstanding contribution toward the peace movement and upholding justice for the Comfort Women survivors. Thank you for your resistance to fascism, racism, and ultranationalism. We honor you for resisting the Osaka and Japanese governments in their denial of the history of the Comfort Women. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Next, we'd like to introduce the Chinese delegation. Zhang Xiangbin was a school teacher in a small village, China, who spent over 30 years of his life locating over 300 comfort women in his village and convincing 120 of them to break their silence and publicly tell their stories. He brought 16 comfort women to Tokyo to file a lawsuit against Japan and spent 20 plus years in Japan court. Lost lawsuit but convinced director Zhang to produce Da Han, a documentary of Chinese comfort women. So Zhang Yueping is the director of the movie Da Han, which will be screened today, this afternoon at 2 o'clock at the City College, second floor. And he made a documentary on the Chinese comfort woman. It took 6 years to produce. The movie will be screened at 2 o'clock today. So please come see it. We have the parents of late Iris Chang to present the award, Ying Ying Chang and Xiao Jin Chang.
On behalf of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, we'd like to present the certificate in recognition of your commitment to the effort in finding a resolve for the comfort woman issue and to promote women's human rights by continuing to strengthen the solidarity with the people of San Francisco to fight against historical denialism. The Board of Supervisors of the City and County of San Francisco applauds your leadership and extends its highest commendation and honor.
尊敬的旧金山的主办单位和世界各地的朋友们，大家好。我是张传斌，来自中国山西。这次能够如愿以偿地参加了这次旧金山慰安妇落成1周年纪念活动，非常感谢张兰珍和郭大法官、郑大法官和会务组的邀请。
Let me translate. He said that he's so happy to be in San Francisco, to be invited by the two judges, and that he is overwhelmed. He is from China, Shanxi province.
在过去的36年里，我带领中国的慰安妇老人走上了对诉讼的道路，把日本政府推上了被告席。
In the last 36 years, I led the Chinese comfort women victims, grandmas, to Japan to urge for compensation, and we made Japan a defendant in this lawsuit.
经过10几年调查，15年的诉讼，11年的同日本政府做斗争，我认为老人们去世了，但是我们斗争并没有结束。
After 10 years of thorough investigation, 15 years of litigation, and 11 years struggling with the Japanese government as defendants, many of our old grandmas passed away.
今天来到美国，在这专业的时刻、神圣的地方，我刚才我会务组要了一套服装，我就是为这些受害者、为这些慰安妇老人做工作的，所以现这样的身份，向100多位受害者老人深深的给他们鞠上一躬。
He's going to make a bow on behalf of the Comfort Women to the statue. Let's give him a round of applause.
He speaks in a very provincial dialect that sometimes I missed parts of it.
Thank you， 谢谢你，庄老师，我们也是很感动你的热心，那么远过来，谢谢谢谢。All right, thank you very much. I would like to now recognize the Monterey Korean school children. Please come up and just take a bow. Look at how cute they are. They came all the way from Monterey. Wow, we need the next generation to thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope you have learned something or you can teach us something. In addition, we have someone very special amongst you who has been with us from the very beginning. Her name is Rita Simo. Rita, would you please stand up? She's a founding member of the San Francisco Interfaith Council, the Jewish community, in connection with us. My God, we have another interfaith leader, Amos Brown. Amos, stand up. Amos, please stand up. Wow. We all know who Amos Brown is. You know, people try to divide us. People try to say it's just a Chinese thing. It is not. It's a Jewish, African American, all people struggle for peace and for humanity against sex violence against women. Amos Brown, Reverend Amos Brown, thank you. Rita Simo. We also have a very good professor who's been with us from the very beginning. 像胡忠老师 Let's give him a round of applause. 谢谢你来，今天我们很感动。Oh, Ivy Lee, the new commissioner, City College, Ivy Lee. Because we're going to use City College later on, and they really helped us.
We're now going to hear from the Pansign Network and the women from Osaka. Sorry, from the Chinese director.
大家上午好。特别感谢呢，就是旧金山慰安妇正义联盟邀请我携带我的电影《大韩》来到这里参加今天这样特别有意义的一个纪念活动。
Thank you, San Francisco Comfort Women Justice Coalition. Bring my movie Great Code to San Francisco.
大寒呢，大家知道是我们中华民族24个节气里面最后一个节气，也是一个最寒冷的节气。
大寒 in Chinese calendar is the coldest season in winter.
但是这24个节气里面，第一个节气是立春。
But the very early season is the spring.
电影《大寒》是一个真实的故事。
This is a true story.
它记录了张双斌老师30多年调查寻访127位受害老人。
It recorded teacher Zhang Shuangbing has interviewed 127 comfort women.
他们经历过的苦难和屈辱，就像一块冰疙瘩一样，埋在心里。
Their sad experience and horror experience, just like the ice block inside their heart.
他们在用自己的体温，10年、50年、80年融化着它。
They're just using the warmness of their body, trying to melt this ice block for 30 years, 50 years, and 80 years.
最后喊出来的是春天，他们的春天就是 和平。
So the lastly, they want to shout out is spring. The spring means the peace.
电影大韩也好，今天我们在这里面组织的这样一个纪念活动也好，它都是一种态度。
The movie Great Code or the time that we're here right now, we have the same mission.
它不是仇恨，
This is not hate.
它是和平。
This is for peace.
所以最后呢，我坚信，只要我们大家共同努力，走过大寒就是春天。
So I truly believe if we are consistent of fighting for the truth and the justice will prevail.
谢谢大家。
Thank you very much.
请大家和我一起说：日本必须道歉！日本必须道歉！
I want everybody to join with teacher Zhang Shuangbing. We shout out, Japan must apologize. Japan must apologize. Japan must apologize. Japan must apologize.
We will now hear from the Pansai Network.
We will now hear the solidarity message from the Forum for Improvement of Osaka. Hello everyone.
私たち6人で大阪から参りました。
We're 6 of us that came from Osaka.
安倍総理や大阪の吉村市長の言動を見たり聞いたりするにつけ、市民として恥ずかしくていたたまれない気持ちでやってきました。
As we watched Prime Minister Abe and our very own Osaka Mayor Yoshimura conduct themselves and to utter the words that they did, we were absolutely not able to just sit still. And we carried our anger and indignation and brought those sentiments of solidarity with us to Osaka.
彼らの主張に多くの市民が必ずしも賛成をしていないということを皆さんにお伝えしたいと思います。
I would like to let you know that not every person of Japan supports Mr. Abe and Mayor Yoshimura's agenda. In fact, many citizens of Japan do not support them.
私たちは世界の女性とつながって平和と公正な世界を求める活動を続けています。
So we've continued to work with women from around the world to work towards peace and justice.
大阪市長が姉妹都市提携を解消すると言い出したとき、旧日本帝国軍の従軍慰安婦問題や戦争と戦時性暴力について学び直しました。
When Mayor Yoshimura declared that he will terminate the sister city relationship after the building of the memorial as a public asset, we began to learn all over again about the history of Japan and the comfort women system from World War II.
今日でも沖縄では在日米軍関係者によって若い女性たちがレイプされ殺されるなど痛ましい事件が後を絶ちません。
And today in Japan, we hear of what is happening in Okinawa. The young women of Okinawa under military occupation of the US military and the Japanese military are being raped and are suffering sexual violence on a regular basis.
慰安婦の問題は女性の人権としての尊厳を破壊しているという点で全ての市民に関わる問題です。
The comfort women issue is something that touches all of us because it is fundamentally about women's rights as human rights, and it's about the dignity of every single woman and all of us that stand here.
少女像を通して私たちや
背景にある戦争のリアルを学び、交流を深め、若い世代に伝えていきたいと思います。
So it is through the memorials such as this one here that we hope for further opportunities to learn and also learn from all of you and to teach and to grow together and to cultivate solidarity and relationships so that we will continue to ensure the history stays alive through the next generation.
私たちはサンフランシスコ市民がこの問題に着目し、広く世界に訴えていることを強く支持し連帯します。
On behalf of all the people that I represent here, I express solidarity with all of you, San Franciscans, and the people in this region who have been working hard to resolve this issue and to communicate this message that history must not be forgotten, that accountability must be brought to the rest of the world. Thank you for having us.
Now we will hear from the Kansai Network.
私たちはサンフランシスコ市民の皆様の力強い歩みと性奴隷性被害者の痛みと歴史を記憶し、繰り返させないという強い意志に心から敬意と連帯を表します。
We'd like to express our deepest respect and expression of solidarity with all of you in San Francisco as you walk steadfastly towards resolving this issue and confronting accountability work in order to ensure that the history is never repeated again, and also to share in the pain and the trauma that were suffered by the victims and survivors.
私たちはこれまでサンフランシスコ市民の皆様と連帯し、大阪市の2人の市長に対し抗議文を提出、市役所前抗議行動をはじめ、サンフランシスコ市民あるいは市長議員に対して全国から集めた署名や激励メッセージを届けてまいりました。
So through the campaign effort underway to dedicate this Comfort Woman Memorial, we have actually been working in solidarity with the efforts here through such methods as protesting through protest letters to both of the two mayors of Osaka, and also to conduct protest rallies and gatherings and demonstrations in front of the Osaka City Hall, and also to submit letters of support and solidarity to the Board of Supervisors as well as the mayor of San Francisco.
たとえ姉妹都市関係が一方的に断たれたとしても、私たち市民の関係はむしろ深まったと感じています。
Even if the Osaka mayor proceeds with the termination of the sister city relationship between San Francisco and Osaka, we actually believe that through our relationship the past several years, that our relationship has deepened and that cannot be terminated, and it will only continue to grow stronger.
慰安婦問題が一日も早く解決されるよう共に取り組んでいきましょう。
In order that justice is delivered and full resolution is brought on this Comfort Woman issue, let us work together in solidarity.
私たちはこれからも皆様と共に女性の人権や平和が守られる社会を築いてまいります。
It is with you that we will also continue to work towards a society that is filled with peace, free of violence and sexual violence when we go back. Thank you.
ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much.
今回私たちがこちらに来る少し前に中国で一人の被害者が亡くなられたという報に接し、大変悲しみでいっぱいの思いで参りました。
And one sentiment that we carried in our hearts as we came here is that shortly before we left Osaka, we learned through the news that one of the grandmothers in China had passed away. And so we held our very deep feelings of condolences as we came here.
中国でこの間支援をされてこられた皆様に心よりご冥福をお祈りいたしたいと思います。
I would like to use this space to express our deepest condolences for all of the people in China that have been working tirelessly to resolve this issue alongside those grandmothers in China.
Could you please clear in front of the stage now? Thank you so much.
While we're waiting, we have one more performer. You know, they spoke about, the women from Japan spoke about Okinawa and the sexual violence going on in Okinawa. And I would really be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the wonderful contributions to this movement from Veterans for Peace. It's our anti-war veterans that have made up the core of movements against war, whether it's from World War II, World War I, Vietnam, Korea, and certainly today in Iraq and Afghanistan. So let's give Veterans for Peace a big hand. And also we have representatives from workers' movements, and we know it is also the workers, such as Steve Zeltzer and others, who are working so tirelessly to change the culture in this community.
Include the Osaka delegation.
I'd now like to bring up Maria Joy Barrios, who's going to read an incredible poem about the Comfort Women. Joy Barrios is a member of Gabriela, and she's also a professor at the University of the Philippines and UC Berkeley.
My poem was originally written in Filipino, but I'm reading the English version. It's divided into 3 short parts. The first part is about the Japanese soldiers and also the Korean and Taiwanese soldiers who were forcibly conscripted to go to the Philippines. The second part is about the Comfort Women, and the third part is about Grandmother Rosa, who after being a Comfort Woman became a guerrilla to fight against the Japanese. I will read one short part in Filipino and then continue in English. Guerra or war. Hala, hala, pasok-pasok na sa bahay paningahan ng sundalong dayuhan. Come on, come in to our comfort station for foreign soldiers. The girls here, they bathe every day. The sick ones, we throw out. The bedsheets and linens are always clean. Only $150 for a Filipina. For a soldier come down from Taiwan or Korea. For a Japanese official who prefers Nipponese, make it 10 pesos. Leave when you please. Tomorrow morning, you'll give your life as a hero. Spirit flying, falling faster. Kamikaze, kamikaze in the air. Part 2, the Japanese soldiers' Comfort Woman. I could not get into the church beside the comfort station they called Asia Hall. But the saints have heard my novena. One day a captain arrived. He needed a washerwoman and a cook. Thank you, Santa Clara. I escaped at last. But is it better to be raped by the same man or 22 different men? Thank you, Santa Rita de Cascia. Thank you for the rice and fish on the table, for the heavy hands that don't land on my face, for teaching me to be polite and obedient. War is over, and in the enemy's departure, they have dragged me into the mountains. They have us surrounded. They pull my hair, tear it from my head, cut and scatter it to the ground. Blade so sharp, eyes so cold, words so cruel. Haste, haste, thrust the blade into my heart. The enemy's Comfort Woman meets no mercy. From start to end of war, a woman captive until death. Part 3, the Filipina comfort woman turned guerrilla after war. What is the color of victory? Deep dark brown, earth in all its bounty, lush bright green leaves of grass that cover and conceal me in the tallest mountains. Sweet, sticky, cold like a grain of rice, treasured come harvest time. What is the color of victory? Milk white is the color of the soldiers come after the war. Milk white is the color of the soldiers who claimed our hard-won victory. They bid us put down our weapons. Shots fired without end. Blood red is the color of the ground that embraced my falling brown body. And my heart grew sure before I took my last breath that here was not this war will end. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joy. Well, that brings us to the end of this part of our program. Let's give each other a round of applause, and let's end with justice for comfort women. Justice for comfort women. Japan must apologize.
Japan must apologize.
And when we look at this statue, and when we think of why statues are so important, we remember that they hold our memory, and they hold our presence, and they hold our future. And all of those are part of this powerful movement to bring justice to the comfort women and justice to women, human rights for women and all people. What we're going to do now is we're going to line up out there. We're going to march behind the banner. Gabriela is going to lead the march. We're going to march through the park to California Street, down California, then to the left on Kearny, 4 blocks, Kearny, 4 blocks, and then we'll get to City College. Again, I'd like to thank you all for coming. And you're invited to come to City College where lunch will be served for free. Thank you again. Justice for comfort women.
Thank you so much, everyone. We're gonna have the march